Hello, this is Mike at TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Georgie Boy Cruise Air motorhome. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite, a few things to think about when you're parking. On your campsite, leave room for your awnings and your little slide back there. On your off campsite, besides your slide, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power cord is going to come out of this back storage area here. Your breaker box and everything's at. And then your docking station is going to be just in front of your tire over here on the off camp side. Alright, and there's our docking station. So first thing we're going to do when we arrive, find a good parking spot, is we are going to run down our auto leveling system. Let's head up inside the unit. Walk up in here and turn it on over here to the left. Oh, first thing I want to make sure you know, and your key must be on. Once the key is on, you turn this on. It's going to do this little dance with its feet. Once it does that, we're on. We're just going to touch auto. There we go. Come on. Gonna hold in on auto there. Alright, I had to turn the key back in just the off position here. And I touched auto, and that's gonna go ahead and start running them down. Got outside here so you can see the last of these coming down here. Down there, it's going to go ahead and dance around for a couple of minutes, get itself nice and level and stable. Once the unit's level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Again, power cord all the way at the rear here, stores inside here. Big 50 amp cord. Should you need, in your convenience pack will be a 50 to 30 amp reducer. So you can bring that from 50 down to 30 amp. A lot of parks have just 30 amp hookups. Here's your breaker box. Tells you what everything is on it. Previous owner marked that out nice for you. Has some lighting. Another 50 amp out here. Here's where you plug in your cable. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. At campsites, we're going to hook up to a city water connection. Get you a water pressure regulator, hook that up, hook up your hose. Don't turn our hose on yet. Let's find our hot water heater.
Water heater, Mike, is to the left of the stove on the face of the countertop.
Right here, all we're going to do is make sure we got this drain plug back in here. There's also an electric element in there. I'll show you how to turn that on inside. Make sure that plug's in there. Once that plug's in there, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After the hose has been on for a few minutes, we're going to go inside and open up our slides if you need to in order to get to your water lines. Get in there and open up all of your water lines. Get a nice steady flow of water going through it. Once you get nice steady water going through those, shut them off and you are all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to use city water. Alright, now if we're going to go dry camping, what we're going to do, follow these instructions here. Come over here, potable water fill tank, turn that counterclockwise all the way to the left. Fill in the same spot as your city water. Once it's full, it will overflow underneath. Overflow under the coach to stop filling it. Once it's full, go ahead, shut that hose off, and then crank this all the way to the right. And then whenever you want to utilize that water, you turn on your water pump inside. Don't turn on your water pump when you're hooked up to city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we got power and water. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing here in the docking station, got an outdoor shower, low point drains. We can hot and cold. We can turn those to the left when we're leaving the campsite to drain those. Again, our city water or our potable water drain. Nice little light for out here. The shower handle will store up here. area to run your hoses down through. All of these down this side are storage. Here you've got a flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. One, steer clear of it when you're running your furnace. It does get hot. And also make sure nothing's ever blocking it. Again, I went over the power. Storage back here. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up top, check the seams in your roof, and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Get up there now and then, clean up your rear view camera. Make sure you got a good view of that. There's the access to our engine. The front is going to have your generator in it. Every single one of these is storage. A lot of storage on RV out here. Got a couple of 110s out here. The two manual awnings. This one and then one over top of your door, a shorter one. Again, you're another flue for your furnace. Your hot water heater up here is a pressure release valve. Make sure you have these closed good for travel. Access to the back of your fridge. Here's where you turn on and off your LP tank. We will fill that right here inside this cabinet. We will cover to access the LP manifold. Get back in there if you need to get over top of the LP tank. Again, this is where we fill that. Fridge vent for over top of your stove, excuse me. Here's where we'll fuel up. And then up front here is going to be your generator. Open that up when we start the generator up. What covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up inside the unit, immediately to the right is going to be your battery disconnect. Above that is going to be a bunch of lighting. We're going to head straight on back here to open up our slides. We're going to hit extend here. That'll open up our bedroom slide. And we get this fixed here. Extend will open up the other slide later. But in the meantime, we're going to open this up outdoors with our temporary button. Oh, here's our temporary button. Going to go ahead and open up that slide. Alright, with our slide open, let me go ahead and walk you around the unit. Got a nice little portable fan here. A lot of individual one-touch lighting. Our sink. Here's where you turn on your hot water heater. On your sink, want to maintain your plumbing. Just keep an eye on things. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose going down the road. We'll want to tell you on your floor vents here. This one and that one you're going to want to lift up and just store up here when you're traveling. Couple of indoor speakers. Over here below our microwave, which does work, is a control panel. So starting all the way over here on the left, I'm going to hit levels. That's where you can show your brand new batteries, your gas, fresh water, holding tanks. Over here is where you can turn on your hot water heater. Here's where you can turn on your water pump if you're using the fresh water. Got a hood light and fan, high and low. And then here's where we'll turn on our generator. Just going to hit start right here. Kind of primes it. And go ahead and start again. Starts right up. Walk out there. Show you that running. Show you that running. This big old South Coast key will open up your front and your rear. Right back up inside here. And we can hit stop and it'll shut that off. On your hood here, this metal piece here makes a nice backsplash. You'll just turn these to light, hit your spark, and when your gas is filled up, these will light up in here. Same thing on your oven. turn that to pilot, get in there and light your pilot light, and then turn it to the desired temperature. Your fridge, turn that on and off here. Different modes are AC, gas, or auto. Auto means when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you're on gas. Temperature mode over here, changing. Pretty simple system there. Over here is going to be our thermostat. We crank our air up. Hear that running. Come back over here. Shut that off. That shuts off rather quickly. Now you notice when I turn the furnace on, there's a furnace running. When I shut the furnace off, they generally take a few minutes to cycle through before they shut off. Now there's your remote for your TV down there. Has several aftermarket speakers. Smoke alarm. Shower door. You want to make sure the shower door is snapped closed for travel. Do have 110 with GFCI reset back here by this sink. Make sure our drawers down there are closed when we bring this slide in. Separate thermostat back here, as well as a carbon monoxide propane detector. Turn on the AC back here. Get it nice and chilly right above the bed. And the same thing with furnace. Turn that on back here. Shut that off. That will also take a few minutes to cycle through. Separate television back here. A hand crank open exhaust vent up here. And that about covers everything on the inside. It's act like we're leaving the campsite and want to close the unit up. Now we'll go ahead and close this back up again, making sure our drawers are closed back there. Now there's our remote for this vent. I'm going to come back here and shut these lights off. Just a fan control. A lot of individual lights here. We'll go bring this slide in. Alright, now to bring up that auto leveling system, we're going to come over here and hit retract. That's going to go ahead and bring them all up by themselves. Go through the unit, make sure all of our lights are off, and exit the unit. Alright, if we are dry camping, we'll bring up those stabilizing jacks, come over here and dump our freshwater tank. If we are at a campsite, bring up our stabilizing jacks, head on up to the dump station. Park accordingly. Your dump's going to be right in front of your tires on your off camp side. Hook up your sewage hose, and the first thing we're going to do is pull this black tank. And it sounds like it's no longer draining. Step inside, look at the level of your black. If it shows it's empty, come back out here, close this black tank, and pull your gray tank. While my gray tanks are draining, go ahead and open up your cold and hot low point drains. Let them all drain out. When we're done, when your gray is done, remember that's going to be cleaner water as your sinks and your showers. That'll clean your sewage hose out for you. Go ahead and close your gray, remove that sewage hose, and store it in a sanitary place. And head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this cruise there for many years to come. Happy camping.